Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're tuning in. My name is Jonathan Torres-Herrera, and you are watching the JTH Show. Today, I want to talk about some updates around the coronavirus. But first, all right, welcome back. First want to thank anybody that saw the last video I posted. I know I was very low energy on that one. I explained why it was. If you missed it, check the video. I'll link to it up top. It's a sad story, but I appreciate anybody that bared with me in my very mopey and just like really just hello boy, kind of face. I'm sorry. I didn't feel that at the beginning, but I'm back. And I'm happy to be back. However, I got some updates. Some updates around the coronavirus. I've been watching a lot of posts, a lot of videos. I'm sure like a lot of people. It's kind of in your face, right? I mean, for a lot of us, it is for me. It seems like every time either on TikTok sometimes or on Instagram or Facebook, there is something about the coronavirus. So I think it's only right, being that the last video, which I'll also link up below if you want to see it, got over like 3,000 views. I figure it's time to provide you guys with some updates, hopefully some useful updates. So first, let's jump into the world updates, right? So I have a few bullet points here for you guys. So far, it's the virus has spread to more than 110,000 confirmed cases, unfortunately, with over 3,000 deaths, almost 4,000 actually. The number that I got off some resources online from the WHO websites, which is the World Health Organization, has it at 3,817 deaths. Although I saw a video like literally 10 minutes ago, we know with some conspiracy theories on there that said it's much, much higher, right? Specifically in China. But the Chinese government may be suppressing those numbers. But nonetheless, the quote-unquote official number is 3,817. It has spread to at least 105 countries, areas, or territories. It looks like over 58,000 people, however, have recovered from the COVID-19, at least in China. I didn't find anybody that has recovered from it anywhere else actually. So those are numbers reported out of China. So take him as you may. There's over 7,000 cases in South Korea, being the number 2 place in the world with the largest amount, followed by Italy, which has actually put their country at this point, because this is all very recent news. When I saw it, it looked like it was just certain cities, in Italy. And now it looks like the whole country, from what I'm seeing on some of the sources. And it looks like what they mean by lockdown is movie theaters, gyms, funerals, weddings, schools, any kind of those events or social gatherings are banned temporarily, right? Now, what does that mean? That means that if you're going to have a large gathering for a funeral, which is very sad, right? If you have someone that passed away and maybe a couple hundred people are going to show up, it looks like it's a no-go. You are not allowed to do that right now. Or wedding for that matter, right? People that had weddings planned, maybe a couple hundred people, maybe even 1,000 people, depending on who's getting married in Italy, no-go. You cannot do that. The other things like the gym and, movie theaters, I mean, it is what it is, right? Even school. I know there's now a lot of telecommuting for schools, right? Meaning people can even teach, right? And even attend school over the internet. As some of you guys know, we're big on that here in my own household. So when it came to the other things, I think those were in some way a little bit more sadder, specifically, again, if there's a funeral or a wedding that you have already planned, maybe paid for. The government of Italy is saying, no, you're not. That is not happening. The UK reports a 5th death, which is very sad. I think that 5th death is in that number I gave you guys earlier, of over 3,800 deaths confirmed. In the U.S., updates for the U.S., New York surpasses Washington State in cases of COVID-19. And at least 21 people aboard a Grand Princess cruise ship have been tested positive or have tested positive, 19 of the 21 are crew members. And that ship docked here in California in a port of Oakland, which is northern of from where I'm at. It's gonna in some way affect where I live, which is down here in San Diego, because they're bringing a lot of those people to a base, a military base in Miramar, and that's not too far away from me. Evacuations for the passengers will take at least 2 to 3 days, according to the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. And the ship was carrying over 3,500 people from at least 54 countries, including crew members. So, everybody has to be tested at that point. Even though the 21 are confirmed, people at all levels of that Grand Princess cruise ship have to be tested. Also, the stock market took a hit. I'm a little bummed out. I'm not a big investor in the stock market, but I lost money. I lost actually quite a bit of money. I'm breaking it live to my wife as well. I lost money. I'm not gonna say how much because it hurts me, but I did. The Dow fell over 7%, or over 2,000 points, depending on if you're familiar with the stock market. And if you're not, just know that is historical. I mean, it's breaking numbers. The last drop, of this nature happened back in October of 2008. Now, if you guys are familiar with what happened in 2008 with the stock market, is when we entered a recession, which is where I'm about to go into right now, the whole world of recession and the scares. However, let me touch based on the fact that this didn't just happen over the scares of the coronavirus. This actually happened, according to some news outlets, because it was an ugly day in the oil market. There was the ugliest, by the way, since 1991. According to this, oil prices fell due to a conflict or an argument, an issue, whatever you want to call it, a price war between Saudi Arabia and Russia. And that resulted in, I guess, the market getting hit early in the morning too, because I get all those notifications, and I saw it to the point, by the way, where they shut the whole thing down, or a Dow was shut down for about 15 minutes. Also, if you don't know, whenever we hit a hit of this magnitude, I guess there are some triggers that happens that will shut down. Either it could potentially shut down the whole stock market, from what I understand, or I guess certain divisions of it, and in this case, a Dow, and it was shut down for 15 minutes. So there was no trading, none of that, for 15 minutes. So some people that I noticed online were asking, can we go into a recession? Can this affect me, JT, where I might go tomorrow to work and they're like, we're laying off people. People are no longer going to be spending, including companies. Is it a 2008 scenario all over again? I've been hearing mixed things back and forth online, from analysts all the way down to Joe Schmoes like you and I, saying this feels like that, right? Nobody wants to go into a panic. Nobody wants to see 2008 happen all over again. Be mindful that we do go into a recession every 8 to 10 years. And we're actually overdue for that, from what I understand. So can this happen right now? Yes, I can. From what I saw from analysts on multiple media outlets, by the way. I don't want you to be like, oh, you're probably watching leftist news. No. I saw it from multiple media outlets. People from Ben Shapiro, which he's with the Daily Wire, all the way to MSNBC, all agreeing that it could happen. It's not getting completely tossed. Some outlets are saying, no, stop panicking, keep investing, but to me, something that's more level-headed is, hey, listen, the president just last week, right? I covered in my video, said, we have whatever 9 cases. Soon we're going to go to 0. Is that a good impression? No. And we didn't go to zero. Okay. Kellyanne Conway came out on news, and if you don't know who that is, she's from the Trump administration, and she's been getting hit on various news outlets saying, "Hey, we have it under control," but the number keeps climbing. Right. The president also, in order to keep it under control, was trying to keep this ship that I was talking about somewhere out there, not on U.S. mainland, because he literally said, I like my numbers. I like the numbers or something like that I have right now, meaning how many confirmed cases we have. So he's like, if those numbers never make it onto shore, they're not U.S. It's not our fault. And he also said that as well. So, you know, to the point, is this something to worry about when it comes to the stock market going into a recession? It could. Now, Trump also said that he will be discussing the possibility of a payroll tax cut and some hourly worker relief response program. I don't even know what that means exactly. He's just gonna give money out, to people that are hourly wages, because I don't know what that even means, right? And if you guys know Trump, then you know how vague he is, right? We're fine, we're beautiful, everything's great. I won't do the impression. Everything's great. I'll just do the hands. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know what he means by all that. However, 3 members, including Senator Ted Cruz, Representative Paul Gosar, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, and Representative Doug Collins, are all in self-quarantine out of fear that they have come across people that have been infected with the coronavirus. So I don't know that any of these individuals have been tested and confirmed that they have them, but they're high officials in government, right? So if you're in government, you know who these people are. And if you don't know who the hell I'm talking about, just know that they're high officials, right? They're not just some random people that I just mentioned. Here's something that I pulled just a minute ago that I noticed on my Twitter feed. And that came from a immigration judge's account, NAIJ, or the National Association of Immigration Judges. They tweeted something that to me was alarming. This happened today. Today, what is it? March 9th, right? This happened today. They tweeted that the EOIR has ordered immigration court staff to remove CDC posters designed to slow the spread of coronaviruses. Specifically, once you go into the article in rawstory.com, it says that on Monday, which is today, the National Association of Immigration Judges condemned the Trump administration's Executive Office of Immigration Review, which is the EOIR, following their order to remove CDC posters at immigration courts that displayed in English and Spanish warnings about the coronavirus and tips on how to prevent the spread of the disease. And I'll link it down below. I saw in the reviews in the comments of the tweet, it wouldn't be reviews, the comments section, that people are like, well, it's because this needs to be updated. It's because there were some typos. So I saw a whole bunch of opinions more than anything, more than facts. I didn't see anybody, posting pictures or retweeting a picture of saying, hey, this is why it was removed. And obviously there was a wave of people saying, there it is, Trump again, being racist. What does he have to worry about? Or not, if it's not Trump directly, his administration worrying about removing posters specifically from immigration courts. Again, the comments that I saw, they felt a lot more like just opinions more than facts. So, but I will say that at least a fact is that Twitter account for that for the immigration judges did tweet that out. And again, I'll link it down below. So now let's move on to something else that I found that I want you guys to be aware of. And that is some semi-alarming information that came out on March 4th, 2020. An article written by Chris Morris of Fortune.com said that there is actually a stronger strain called the L-type strain of the coronavirus that had evolved from the S type. So that was confusing. I know. So there is an S type that was the initial virus, and nowadays there is a stronger strain called the L type strain, and it was seen more frequently in Wuhan, right, where the outbreak began allegedly. Researchers note that the frequency of infection has dropped off. So there is a stronger strain, but it has dropped off. And a link to the article down below. You guys can read the whole thing. I just got the highlights. So, does that mean that what we're seeing now is a stronger strain? Not necessarily. I didn't see any reference to that. Does it mean that we have only the S type, which is I guess the weaker strain or the initial strain? Also, I didn't see any of that. Right? I did see that the L strain, at least in the epicenter of this whole thing, 70% had the L type, which is a stronger strain, and 30% had the more weaker S type strain. It is interesting though that this specific coronavirus, because I said it before, there's been other types of coronaviruses, but this one specifically has already mutated into a stronger strain. That we know of. So there's two of them right now. The flu, that happens with the flu every single season. You hear about it in the news. Oh, the flu, there's a stronger strain out there. Make sure you get your flu shot. So this is not to alarm anybody saying, oh my God, now it's, unavoidable and there's no cure. I'm not saying that. This caught my eye, came out March 4th. You do your fact checking. So in conclusion, you've heard the updates. As I said before, you guys need to do your fact checking. You guys need to make sure that you guys are not driven by fear, right? Be prepared. I'm prepared. I bought plenty of food, water, normal supplies that you should have anyways, right? I live in California. According to a lot of people that I know that don't live in California, earthquake land. I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't know if people think that I walk in is like, I mean, that doesn't happen. But, huh? No, I'm not kidding. People have told me that I live in earthquake land. When I lived in Oklahoma, right, people there get lifted up, sadly, in their homes by air, tornadoes. But they were like, "Whoa, you live in California?" And they're looking at me like I was like a weirdo. Like, wow. So you like the land opening and just swallowing you up, huh? Yes, and then it spits me out at the other fucking side in China. Um, but anyways, right? So I'm prepared as it is. I'm the kind of guy that has always had meals ready to eat, which is those military meals. You should be prepared too. Okay, no matter where you live, this thing is now, in over, what is it, 105 countries or territories, whatever, depending on, where you live. Be prepared. Have something that if you didn't need to go out for the next maybe week, you would be okay. You wouldn't be like, damn, like I got no this, or I got no that. It's all a matter of precaution. It doesn't mean you're going to need it, right? And then furthermore, I heard some stuff that people were like, I don't know, in some cases were even discriminatory to like Chinese people. You guys need to stop it. Like there was an article that I saw that some Chinese tourists were spat on in Italy. Like that's ridiculous. Like, come on. Like that's not that. At this point, you can have it. I can have it. I'm not Chinese. In fact, I actually took an ancestry.com or actually the 123. Stop. I'm gonna mention it. The 123 in me. I'm not Chinese, right? But I can have it. Listen, I'm serious, right? If you guys are out there panicking that the Chinese that, Chinese this, yes, there's a lot of viruses that allegedly have come out of China. There's more research that needs to be done into that, at least by me, to verify that. But that's what I've heard. And a lot of people have heard that too. But it doesn't mean that every Chinese person you see on the street has a coronavirus and you should look at them, I don't know, like, shitty, right? Don't be that kind of human being. Be prepared, be informed, cross-check the information you see or you hear, right? I say it all the time, even for my own show. I link 2 articles down below because I want you guys at one point or another to know that I am trying to be as transparent and trustful as I can, but the rest is up to you. All right. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody has a great week, a great month, despite of the stuff you've been hearing out there. And that's it, guys. That is it for today. Take care of yourselves. See ya.